Hey everybody, Lisa here with Vera Bradley Bag of the Day. It's been a couple of days because of my workload, but I did get to get out today and use this bag, so ooh. So I thought I would do a video about it because I finally have some time. This is a Stephanie bag, and I know I've done other videos on the Stephanie bag. Going back, my first video must have been a few months ago now when I got my first Stephanie, which was in the pattern Symphony and Hue. But I figured, not everybody has seen all the videos. Okay, big love. Um, and so I thought, it doesn't hurt to talk about it again. And I kind of wanted to talk about this pattern a little bit because sort of went back and forth with it a bit, and I just find it kind of a little funny what happened. Hi. So this pattern is Slate Blooms, and I think that's 2010. You have to check me. I forgot to. Usually try to check myself on the website in the pattern archive before I start talking about something, but I forgot. I think it's 2010. And when I first saw this pattern, I think it was on an Olivia bag when I was just looking on eBay at stuff, and it sort of was striking to me. It appealed to me, and I don't know if I should do an Olivia video because I've got a couple and they're very cute. But anyway, then I think I saw a listing for a Stephanie bag in this pattern, but the listing was like over a year old and the item had been sold. And that sort of got me thinking about this pattern in this bag style. But I was having real trouble finding one. I just one never popped up. I don't know if I might not have been searching well. I mean, I might have only been searching Stephanie bags rather than also searching the pattern Slate Bloom, then maybe more would have popped up. But so anyway, it took me a long time before I happened upon one, that especially one that was in good condition. Because I have lately seen a few, but they haven't been in super great condition. This was new with tags, and a good price. Anyway, so I got it, and I had never seen the pattern in person, and I think I was a little taken aback by the brown, which is actually, I can see on the screen, it is coming out fairly accurately. I was struck. I thought that the brown was going to be a little bit darker and cooler, and it's definitely a lighter, warmer brown than I was expecting. And so I was a little taken aback, and I felt like I'm not sure if I like this combo. I washed it because I wash everything that I buy, online and used. And then I proceeded to, promptly turn around and list it on Poshmark. I just decided I didn't like it. And I think it just shows you how susceptible I am to the masses. It started getting a reaction on Poshmark where people were liking it, the listing. Nobody was buying it, probably because my prices were a little high, and I have since lowered my prices. But I think I was influenced by that. I thought, oh, wow, maybe I ought to reconsider this if people are finding something appealing about it. And then I started to think about what kind of color clothing I have. Because normally I will mix a pattern bag with a pattern garment. I think a lot more goes together than you might initially think if you're a little creative and willing to have a little fun. But this one, I think, is so sort of strong and bold that it needs to be against a solid color to be set off to its best advantage. And so I started thinking about, well, what colors do I have, and I realized I have colors like this like dark gray, and I think this might be the top I'm wearing on my Poshmark listing. And I'm wondering if that's why people were responding to it without really even realizing, right, that this color sets this pattern off nicely. And so it would probably like an olive green, or any of this sort of dark, more neutral type colors. So I started, because I started thinking about it this way, I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll keep it. So, I mean, the listing it's there. I have to take it down, but it's not for sale anymore. I haven't got around to just deleting it. But anyway, so I've used it once or twice in the last few days, and that's been the first time that I've used it. And I'm enjoying it. I think, especially with this top, it looks good. And so, I thought I would just talk again about the Stephanie, like I said, in case people haven't seen the other videos, because it's a nice bag. It's especially when you get it in good shape, which is what I tend to try to do, so that the top is still holding its form well. And when I wash the Stephanie bag, I tend to try to train it to sort of bow open like this, with a nice smooth curve here. I don't like it when this sort of buckles, this top opening. That bugs me. And I tend to carry the bag more often than not open like this. So I like that kind of bucket shape where it's sort of splaying open like that. The opening, it's a zip top opening, and you can get a lot in here. I don't even have it filled. I mean, I'll get to what I have in here. It's just my standard stuff. But it's a zipper top opening, the soft zipper in the coordinating color. And the top opening, I think, is about 13-14 this way, the long way. The strap drop is 9, and the height of the bag is also 9. So it's a shorter strap drop for sure. I'll stand up in a minute, but you can see it hits, right at the up in your mid torso. But I'll stand up in a minute. The bottom is like about 6 by 13, the base, so 6-ish this way. And it has kind of a triangular shape. You can see it really narrows towards the top, which is kind of nice. Just gives it an interesting shape. Structured. It's a bit more structured. I feel like this and the chain bag are probably the two more structured style bags of Vera Bradley that I go for. I tend to like a softer bag, but I do like these two structured bags. It's got east-west slip pockets. They're a little small, like I said, since it's sort of a triangular shape, and the side of the bag narrows as it goes up. This opening is a little narrower than on some other bags that have east-west pockets. This outside pocket is just a big zipper pocket. Happen to have it open. There's nothing in there, but it goes down to the bottom of the bag and across the whole width of the bag. So it's a nice, good-sized pocket. And on the other side are just two slip pockets. Again, taking up the entire side of the bag. They go down all the way to the bottom of the bag. So good-sized pockets. And of course, to me, this is vintage because it's got the trim. Anything with the nice coordinating trim there. So I think and also you can see the pin tucking detail up top. That's very nice. This sort of pleated pin tucking just gives it, and there's something in here, I don't know whether it's cardboard or plastic, giving it structure. But that pin tucking is just such a nice, it's on both sides, it's such a nice detail. Very feminine, but yet the bag isn't very girly, I feel like, overly girly. And I do like these loops. These 4 loops are just sort of bohemian, hippie-ish vibe. I like that. The straps are just over an inch wide. They're not quilted, but they have a thickness to them. They have some, they don't feel chintzy. They have some weight to them. It's cotton lining, which I'll get to because it has a pretty coordinating fabric. But what just appealed to me when I first saw this pattern was this line work with the dots on the ends, surprinting these gray areas of like gray wash in the petals. The whole thing just looked, I know I've said this something similar in other videos, it just reminded me of sketches my dad would do, sketching out ideas in advertising design, and he with magic marker. And his magic marker, he had a whole set of magic markers that were just a wide range of grays, and they were fat magic markers with like a thick chisel tip pen and very inky. When they were new, you know, they just had you put the ink down. It was very moist looking on the. Usually he was working on tissue paper, which didn't absorb the ink right away. So it just had a very wet kind of feel and look. Almost like watercolor. And that's what this gray reminded me of. And then with these brown lines with the dots on the end, that also reminded me of when we use a fresh magic marker that has a lot of ink in that tip. And you are drawing a line, and you get to the end of the line, and you almost hesitate maybe a little bit before you pick the pen up, and there's a little dot of ink pools at the end of the line. That's what this looks like to me. I feel like I'm probably dating myself. I mean, I don't even know if anyone uses magic marker anymore. But that's what this whole pattern reminded me of, and I think that's why it appealed to me so much. And then, also you've got the color is really coming in well here. This light is working well. I mean, this is very neat. This leaf with 3 sections, and this center leaf is sort of folding over onto itself. I mean, that's like a nice little detail there. So I just, and this big explosion here, right? That's a big kind of flower explosion. Hard to get it up there with Duke here. I mean, that's just a lot of all the dots and everything, even going into the center of the flower, there's little dots in the center of the flower. Little touches of yellow in some of the leaves is nice too. So inside, I got a lot in there, my normal stuff, but it's not nearly filled, GPS, iPad mini, iPod, my wallet, which I'm going to talk about in another video because it is Wednesday. This is new for me. My phone. So I just wanted to get a little bit of the lining, because it makes use of, again, it picks up that motif of the lines with the dots on the end of them. And you got the yellow and the gray there. So again, same color palette. Just think it's very sweet. And on the top, in this wall, the bag, you have a zipper pocket. Oh. And on the other, I think it's 3. It might be hard to see, but see if I can get them open. 3 slip pockets. They don't go all the way down to the bottom of the bag, so they're a little shallow. There is a base. It's not removable. I don't know what it is, but I have washed all of my Stephanies with no problem. And then I put some towels in a plastic bag and I shove that in here and just let it dry that way, so it keeps its shape nice. But I mean, even the tag, which is what I'm looking at right here. Yeah, even the tag says you can machine wash this. So I don't know what that fabric is. I mean, that material is that's in there as a base. But let me put it on, fill it up again, and just put it on so people can get an idea. Since it is a shorter strap drop, it just looks a little different when you're using it. Let me turn this. I'm sorry, Dookie. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you can see, I gotta straighten myself out. So you can see it does sit up higher fits, in the curve of the body, which is, for me anyway, which is always comfortable for me. And I feel like the straps stay on real well when I'm in the supermarket or whatever, and I shove it back there. It's comfortable, it stays back there. Doesn't slip around too much. You can see it has some width to it right this way. So, and sometimes, I'll just carry it. I just stand real far back for this, but I'll just let it hang, like that. I do that a lot, actually. That's my preferred way of carrying this bag. Just like a little shopping bag, a little tote bag, a little bucket. Oh, dude, you took my spot. But anyway, just a quick one. My bag of the day, because I am going to talk about my wallet, which I might have to go downstairs to do. But this was the Symphony in Slate Blooms. It's a great bag. I feel like I might have gotten it out of my system. I may not need any more. I got 4 now. Maybe one more. I don't know. I always say that, no more, but then I end up with more. Anyway, but that was my bag of the day. After thinking I didn't want this pattern anymore, I decided to keep it, and I think it's working out well. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time, hopefully.